Welcome inside another edition of the Party on Fifth Avenue podcast presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. I'm your host, Matt Farago, and our guest today has spent 24 years as the host of The Danger Show on Froggy Radio, and now he's moving on to host his own podcast, The Danger Show Podcast, but he also does so much more throughout Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh and Yins are proud by way of Memphis, Tennessee. Jeremy Danger Mulder, kind enough to join us here on the Party on Fifth Avenue podcast.
Thank you for having me on. I've always, seen this podcast and I've wanted to be here. And it's actually, for people that are watching, it's not AI. We're inside of PPG Paints Arena right now.
Yes, we are.
This is where the Penguins win Stanley Cups.
They have done so.
Where Crosby and Malkin do their thing.
And now, where so many concerts that you come to and enjoy, and where this podcast is shot.
Oh, and I've been to so many shows here. But before I get to that, I do have one grievance. The show's called Party on Fifth Avenue, which if you've ever been to PPG Paints Arena, it touches Fifth Avenue, but we're on the Center Avenue side.
Yes.
What's up with that?
But the mailing address is, and always will be, on Fifth Avenue. So if you mail something here, it's the address of the building.
All right.
So no matter where you are on the building, yes, we can see Center Avenue from here.
Right there, yeah.
But the party is just behind us.
There in fact, is a party on Fifth Avenue at all times. So that's cool.
Well, thanks for jumping on. We really appreciate it. Obviously, you and I go back a long way, and whether it's talking country music or sports, high school football, whatever the case may be, it's always good to catch up with you.
I hope we can talk about all that here today.
Let's do it. There's a lot to talk about in the realm of what you have done in radio, and I think I want to start there because you spent 24 years at Froggy Radio, and got to see radio through so many of its life's cycles. Not to age you, but you really did, and I have to wonder what that was like from the time that you came into Froggy in 2002 to when you exited just a few months ago at the end of 2025.
Well, I mean, when I came here in 2002, radio was still a behemoth. This is for the youngsters that might be watching this. In 2002, there really were still only three medias. There was television, radio, and there was still a thing called newspapers that would come and be in your driveway, and you'd take the rubber band off it and read it. But during the 2000s, something emerged called social media. And then in the 2010s, streaming. And that was really the when you started to see, because before that, and this is how far back I go, Matt Fargo, there were things like CDs. Oh, this is going to end radios, CDs. And then satellite radio. Oh, this is the death of radio. No. Streaming became really the internet, and streaming is what not only was it trouble for radio, but trouble for newspaper. I think, do they still print it? I think
a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. Just came back a little bit, actually. Trib just started reprinting those.
Okay. I haven't held a newspaper in my hand in a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's not nearly what it is. And Pittsburgh still kind of likes to live in the old days. I feel like in some other cities you don't see printed newspapers, but Pittsburgh
is an old school town.
Yeah.
So there's people out there still listening to radio, still watching TV, still finding that newspaper out there somewhere.
Sure.
And holding it in their hands. But, the future is where you're at, is now. It's where you're at right now. It's putting a show out that you can watch on your phone. You can stream it. Like you mentioned, I just started a podcast this week, the Danger Show podcast. And when I go live, it's on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter or X, TikTok. And, man, that's where people are now.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. So that's the new world we're in now. If you want to be where the people are, you got to be there.
Yeah, and I think, early on in the radio side, to hear your favorite song, you had to wait for it, or you had to buy the CD. Those were the two kind of options, at least me growing up. And now you can play whatever. You can play a whole album straight through on your phone in your car whenever you want. So it really is about the personalities of radio that have kept radio even relevant to this point.
Yeah, you're right. Radio back in the day, 70s, 80s, 90s, maybe even 2000s was where you would discover a new song. And there's a lot of record labels in Nashville that still call radio to try to get them to play the songs because they still have a little bit of that. But now, I mean, you're younger than me. I mean, you discover music on TikTok. Maybe you just go on Apple Music, push a song, and then after that song plays, these other songs play. 'Cause that's where the record labels are feeding songs now.
Sure.
So that you're like, oh, what was that? That song that came on after the Morgan Wallen song I picked or whatever, you know? But yeah, that's becoming the new, music discovery place.
Yeah, and specifically for country music, radio had such a big impact on country artists because Nashville kind of like doubled down and said, we want the radio stations to be relevant in the sense of helping push these artists to where they want to be.
There was a partnership, right? Yeah. Country radio and Nashville, all the record labels worked together to make artists stars. If you had a guitar and moved to Nashville, you would try to get on a record label, and then record labels would use their partnerships, which was country radio, the award shows, now they, satellite radio.
Yeah.
But now they're having to use different levers, you know what I mean? Pandora's, Spotify's, Apple Music's, TikTok.
And then it makes like, how do these artists, like we just saw Spotify just announced a partnership where artists can leave tickets for people who stream their songs the most for their concerts. It's kind of a unique thing where artists are able to reach out and say, hey, Jeremy, you are in the top 1% of listeners to Megan Maroney. You get 2 tickets to my show in Pittsburgh. And I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
But it does leave the radio out of the equation more and more.
Yeah, I think if you're an artist in Nashville right now in 2026, you still want to use every tool in your tool chest, right? If you partner up with a record label, there's some markets where there's still radio stations that can help, help them sell tickets to their shows. Mm-hmm. And we certainly did that at Froggy for many years.
Sure.
We helped sell tickets. We did it for PPG Paints Arena.
No doubt.
And then the other stations in town, Y108 or Big 104.7. That's the Y108's Odyssey, which is a national company, and then Big 104.7, an iHeart company. But we country fans would still listen to us because we had tickets to give away or we were interviewing the artists, because that's really the key. Playing the songs for radio is not. You could get the songs anywhere, right?
Right.
If I'm going to turn on a radio, because you mentioned I retired from Froggy back at the end of November, and if I'm going to turn on the radio now, it's because Matt Farago's on there,
sure.
Or the Steeler game's on, or the Penguins game's on, or there's got to be a destination now, right? You're not going on like, let me see what song's on.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah,
and more times than not, you're turning it on and going, oh, more commercials. Great.
Right. And so personalities, influencers, they're what pull the cart now, because people do love music still. I just think the place they're getting it number one, and I don't have any studies to show, especially younger people, is not radio. Now, older people, and when I say older, no offense, probably 35 and up. Those I would just, if you cut life in half, there's somewhere around there.
I got a couple more months.
I think that people that are 35 and up, probably in a week, still will turn on a radio station.
Yeah.
I think, and I think they still will watch a TV station to see the news.
Yep.
Maybe they go online and read the newspaper. I do it.
Yeah.
I don't hold a newspaper, but I follow like the Post-Gazette or KDK on, and the KDK is not a newspaper, but on Twitter, and I check what's going on. But younger people, man, that's the problem. That's the problem for those industries, and I don't know how to solve those. I do know how to solve them. You got to put talent on the station.
Sure.
It's not going to be playing songs.
Yeah, and I think that you've seen that from the TikTok stars and the people in social media that have really people have taken a liking to, and they're the ones that are influencing where people spend their money. And there's so many places to do it now. That kind of leads us into what's coming in here to PPG Paints Arena. It is a summer and fall full of country music. Of course, just across the river. We had Morgan Wallen playing last week. Megan Maroney here at the arena recently. And then upcoming, the Zach Brown Band. It's actually the August of Zach's. Zach Brown Band, August 13th. And then Zach Top a week later on August 20th. Should be two great shows. And two kind of artists in opposite directions of their career. Zach Brown Band's kind of been there, done that. And Zach Top's one of the up-and-coming country artists in country music right now.
So, yeah, Zach Brown, he has been having hits for probably almost 20 years now. And songs like I Like My Chicken Fried, Cold Beer on a Friday Night. I think that was his first hit song, like a #1. But he's great. He'll have, he draws a crowd. Zach Brown Band is unbelievable. And Zach Top, you mentioned, a newer star. I think I saw him last summer. I think he played Star Lake last summer.
Did he open for somebody?
He opened for maybe Dierks Bentley.
Okay. And I saw him at 8-Man Jam at the arena or at the casino last year and was really impressed. That's more of an intimate setting, not a full band setup, but still, oh, man, if you like old-style country, he brings it back. He throws it back to...
Yeah, but it's not... Here's what I thought. Now, I'll get your opinion since you said you saw him, too. So last summer, I saw him play a full set at Star Lake, and I went backstage, and I talked to him, and he's like, I'm just turned 26 years old or whatever, and here he is with the cowboy hat, and just like looks like Alan Jackson.
Yes.
Right? I think some people have joked that Alan Jackson might be his real dad. Have you seen that online?
That's good, though.
Yeah, they've actually asked him about
awesome.
it. But the show, he wasn't like just trying to pretend like he's old school. Like when I watched it and I watched everybody sing along, like there was a lot of that crowd there that was for him at the Dierks Bentley show.
Sure.
I believe, I was like, this guy's authentic. This is the music he likes.
I agree with you. I think it did come off very authentic. So did he. Just even, between an 8-Man Jam, you kind of get those chants where he talks about why he wrote a song or why he likes a song. And it did. It came off very authentic to me. And it almost feels like there's a part of country music, curious to get your take on this, that is kind of rewinding the tape on the style. Because, there was this, throughout the 2010s to now, we've had this like pop country phase where it's become country has become very mainstream music. And then now that we have these artists, Zach Top, I think Zach Bryan is another example of that, of like being a little bit more old school than that pop country that we're so used to the last decade or so.
So I think they're different, right? Zach Bryan is not like old school country. He's just singing about what he feels, and it's not trying to fit a mold to be a song on the radio.
Sure.
And that's what people like sometimes. They're like, this is different. This is authentic. And then Zach Top's a young guy that's singing songs that sound like Alan Jackson, but they're his songs. He's playing the guitar, and people love it.
Yep.
It's something different. And then, the 2000s and 2010s, I mean, I loved the music. I loved the Jason Aldeans and Luke Bryans, and I loved the Kenny Chesneys of the 2000s. And in a way, they had their own sound, right? Kenny Chesney kind of brought that island feel in the 2000s, and it was something different, right? And he packs arenas with it.
Yeah.
And then in the 2010s, you had Luke Bryan doing the stadium, and he was getting the country girls to shake it. And it was kind of a little bit of a rock beat country, or a little bit like got some bass in it.
Yeah.
But
Luke Combs kind of came right in shortly thereafter.
Yeah, Luke Combs. And then Morgan Wallen, he just played the stadium for 2 nights, and he had his own little sound, you know, and he definitely incorporates some hip-hop beats to his songs. I mean, heck, that the song about Leave the Broadway Girls Alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's straight up, hip-hop. That's his walkout song.
Yeah, and on that note, then you have Post Malone make a total 180 from his whole career and go country now. Yeah. And that was one that wasn't expected, but has been very much embraced by the country community.
Yeah, and they're always in Nashville trying to find a different way to sing songs about real life stories and get the young people to get excited about it. And I tell you, you mentioned one of them, Megan Maroney. She's doing it. She's got a lot of young girls that are digging what she's doing.
They're all on cloud 9.
They're connecting. She's got the young fan base, but then Ella Langley.
Oh man, she's been as hot as anyone in country music right now. Yep. And I have the I don't know, the inside track on because he's been here so much, and the bias of Jelly Roll, who's been here so many times. He got to do Big Night Out, and he was here for WWE just recently, and he's been unreal.
Preparing for today's show, I actually wrote down my top 5 favorite shows ever at PPG Paints Arena.
Okay.
Can I give them to you real quick?
Let's do it.
Number 5, Garth Brooks, when he came out of retirement, played here. He did like 6 shows in 4 days. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, yes.
But it was awesome, too.
Right.
Love that one. Number 4, Jelly Roll. When he was here in October, I think, of 2024, it's probably like not even 2 years ago.
Yes.
He was still Jelly Roll, full figured.
Yeah, full fluffy.
And it was like you couldn't look away, man. It was like he was rapping, he was singing a rock song, and then he's crying and preaching, and then singing a country.
That rain stage on the B stage, the fire turning into rain. It was unbelievable.
You couldn't. People were like, "What's a Jelly Roll show like?" It's like a train wreck. You can't look away. There's just so much happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's going to do now that he's skinny.
It is an adjustment for everyone.
Is it going to be just J Roll or something, or just
jelly? No rolls. I don't know.
Third, I got Cody Johnson. Pick one of them. They're all amazing.
Yes.
And then my top 2, you're going to laugh. Number 2 is last year's Eric Church show when he had the 20-piece band with him.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And
what?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Before we get to your number 1, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to take a break. Party on Fifth Avenue podcast. We're going to come back with Danger's number 1 country show here at PPG Paints Arena. We're also going to ask them some Pittsburgh Yinzer questions, all that and more to come on this edition of the Party on Fifth Avenue podcast, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates.
After you've been in a serious accident, you're going to have a lot of questions about what the insurance company is doing.
These are some we hear all the time.
Why are they trying to get a statement when I'm still in the hospital?
Why are they inspecting my car without my permission?
Why are they asking me to fill out all these forms?
Why are they calling me all day?
Why do I feel like I'm being pressured to take their offer?
Want answers? Call us. And remember, there's never a fee unless we get money for you.
Pittsburgh, get ready to see PPG Paints Arena like never before. PPG Paints Arena tours take you behind the scenes of the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is your chance to step inside the Penguins locker room and feel the history of the 5-time Stanley Cup champs. See the ice from a player's point of view and go where legendary broadcasters told the biggest moments in Penguins history. From championship stories to behind-the-scenes secrets, this tour is the ultimate Penguins experience. Visit ppgpaintsarena.com and book your tour today.
Welcome back inside another edition of the Party on Fifth Avenue podcast, presented to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. Matt Fargo alongside longtime country radio host of Froggy Radio for 24 years, and now the host of the Danger Show podcast, Jeremy Danger Mulder. I don't call you Jeremy, so maybe I'm just going to always the Danger. I'm glad the show is sticking with Danger because you've been Danger prior to arriving in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I was Danger on the radio in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. So I got that nickname when I was 19 years old.
Wow. And what did you do dangerously that gave you the name Danger?
Oh, man. So in the 90s when I started on the radio was huge, and some of the stunts, I would do stunts on the radio, which is funny because, it's audio, right? People, you had to visualize it.
Yeah.
But then the what helped make me well known was, like, I'd be out on the interstate where, the sign that says speed limit 55 while flashing, but it meant like the light flashing. I would stand next to it with a trench coat and flash.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I would go, it says speed limit 55 while flashing. But people would be driving by and see it and hear it. And then and I just did stupid stuff like that all the time. And I made a name for myself. The next thing you know, I got hired to do my own show in Memphis. Then they brought me here to Pittsburgh.
And now being here in Pittsburgh for now 2 decades.
Mm-hmm. I married a Yinzer, had Yinzer kids.
Yeah, and that was where I was going with this. Is like you are definitely a Yinzer now through and through.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I still complain about the winters. I still do it 24 years later. But it would be sad to leave here if I did. And my wife, you know, she's an Allegheny County sheriff, works at the courthouse. My kids are, they're Pittsburgh kids. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. And it's a great town. It's a great region, really.
Yes. Well, we buried the lead. Of course, we still need to hear your number one.
Favorite concert ever here?
Yeah, let's redo the list if you missed it.
Yeah, I'll make it quick here.
Yeah.
So my number 5 was when Garth Brooks came out of retirement. He was retired for like 20 years, and then he did 6 shows here like in 4 days.
Insane.
It was insane.
Yeah.
No, I don't think no one would do that because that's crazy.
Correct.
But it was cool. It made my list.
Right.
Number 4, Jelly Roll, about a year and a half here, October of
Love that
2024.
show.
He was still full Jelly Roll. You know, he was like 500 pounds. I'm not even kidding. He talked about it.
Yeah.
And he would rap and sing rock songs and cry and preach and then do country songs.
My first time meeting him was at the CMAs with you, working the CMAs a few years
Country
ago.
Music Awards.
Yeah, and he was so down to earth.
Didn't he invite us to a party at his house that night?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Like he was just.
We were like, we already have to go to 12 other parties,
right,
but we should probably go to
we
this
should
party.
swing by. I'm telling Jelly Roll I'm going to swing by. But no, that whole experience at the Country Music Awards was unbelievable. Getting to like meet those artists and actually have full on conversations with them, and you know, their country music. I mean, you know how I feel about it, and I certainly know how you do. Of like the artists are just so down to earth and so everyday people, and they really make you feel that way when you're able to chat it up with them. But every time I think of Jelly Roll, I think of that first time meeting him.
Yes, yeah. There was something else that happened that day too in the booth. You remember? Can we say that?
Well, I don't know.
He had like, I don't know if they can say this. It's the internet.
Probably. Yeah.
He had, and neither one of us partaked in it, but he had like a marijuana. Remember?
man, yeah.
He was like, does anybody want one?
right,
We
he's
were
like,
like,
hand it
we're
up.
kind of working right now. We got like 30 more interviews after you.
Right.
But anybody else, we'd have been like tackled by security and like, but it was Jelly Roll, so they were like, oh, he's
fine. Everything's fine. I do remember that. I was like, what did happen there?
Yeah.
That's
that
good
was
stuff. All right.
Jelly Roll's number 4. Number 3, Cody Johnson.
Yep.
He plays here a lot, and he's amazing.
If you got a chance, take it.
Yeah, that's right. Number 2 was Eric Church last fall. I think he's still on this current tour. He has like a 20-piece band with him. Wow. I've never, in country music, I mean, your stage, you had to roll out the biggest stage of all time.
Right.
He had people playing like the chimes and the more cowbell. He got everything, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And then number 1, my favorite show at PPG Paints Arena, is Eric Church during COVID when his whole band got COVID and he played the whole show by himself.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I remember coming to that show thinking, this is so dumb. It's a sold-out arena, and the guy, his band's sick, but he's going to just try to do it with him and a guitar.
Yep.
And he did it, man. It was mesmerizing.
Yep.
It was like, this guy is that's something you'll never see again.
No.
You're not going to book.
He's never going to say that, oh, yeah, let's go out on a tour, and I'm just going to do everything acoustic.
But it was just a different take on all those hit songs, and the crowd ate it up.
Yep.
It was amazing. So that's my number
1.
one.
That's a really good one. That is a really good one, and one that I feel like needs talked about still.
Yeah.
More. Well, what needs talked about more is what country shows are coming to PPG Paints Arena this summer and fall. We talked about Zach Brown Band on August 13th, Zach Top on August 20th. Then Casey Musgraves will come back to PPG Paints Arena on September 8th, one day shy of my birthday, when I become an adult, according to Danger.
That's your 35th.
Yeah.
Huh? Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you see Casey Musgraves at the Academy of Country Music Awards last month?
Yes.
She had the little short Daisy Dukes and
Yes.
was pushing the shopping cart and leaning over it. Like every country fan, male blood pressure went really up during that performance. So I don't know if that's going to happen at that show September 8th, but keep your salt intake down before you.
Good advice. That's good advice.
You can tell I'm getting older.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I don't think that's a real.
I don't even want you to explain it, to be honest.
Yeah, but that was her performance, so I guess there's going to be a little more of that.
Okay.
Coming in.
All right. Well, that's sold somebody.
The next show on your lineup, I don't expect to see any Daisy Dukes on stage.
No, Pittsburgh proud, Dan and Shay.
Dan and Shay. Yep.
Representing the North Hills.
They're great, and this is their hometown. So
Yeah.
it's a homecoming. Dan went to North Allegheny, went to Carnegie Mellon, ton of family. And then, you go to Nashville and you start a band, and then you pick Shay's like, dude, I lived in Pittsburgh for a couple years.
Right.
He lived like in Allison Park.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's right down the road from where. But they didn't even know each other in Pittsburgh. But,
Wild.
Yeah, yeah.
That's-
But Yinzers find each other.
They do.
If you could go anywhere in the world and be like, oh yeah, I lived in Blawnogs,
Well, and I think it's also because like anywhere within a 2-hour radius of city center, you are not from Allison Park or Rochester or Jeanette.
Yeah.
You're from Pittsburgh.
I thought that was so. Moving from Tennessee to here in 2002, whenever I would get, I gave away tickets constantly, right?
Yep.
It was always caller 12 wins this.
Had to be one of your favorite parts of the job.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, that was something we did that was cool to help promote shows and get people, listening. But people would call and I'd say, "Where are you from?" "Pittsburgh." And I'd go, "What part?" And they'd say, "Uniontown," or Newcastle. And then I was like, I was new here and I looked it up. I was like, that's 50 miles away,
That's right. Yeah.
But
Jeez, I'm in.
there's civic pride here because the actual city limits of Pittsburgh is very small, right?
Yep.
So it's the Pittsburgh region, and people love Pittsburgh. They're proud to be from Pittsburgh. If you talk bad about Pittsburgh, you might get
Yes.
get slugged. So, and I love that about the town.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's, when you're from here, it's put in you through your childhood, and as you grow up, you're a part of it. And then if you've transplanted here, you either love it or you hate it. Like you either become a part of the culture or you're one of the people that are like, this is not for me.
Yeah, I think when people come here, like me, I think they like it. I think because it's just a very family-friendly
People care.
town. Yeah. It's got that neighborly Mr. Rogers, thing going on.
That's the part of it. That's the best part of it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, a couple more questions for you because we're going to do a little bit of rapid fire, Pittsburgh style with Danger. He loves his top five. He used to have his Danger's top five at
Every
five, but
day.
we already had the top five. So I'm going to start with a Pittsburgh draft with you. You are going to draft your perfect Pittsburgh day. And we're going to start with your breakfast spot. You're opening up the day. Where are you going to breakfast?
Oh, man. So can I do anywhere in the region?
Anywhere in the region.
Perfect day.
Yes, perfect. You're planning your perfect day.
That's tough, man, because there's
I'll
some
even
good
make
ones.
gas like cheaper than it is now.
Yeah. So this is going to be crazy, right? Because this is really going everywhere.
Yeah.
But I would either pick like Pamela's in the city or DeLuca's.
This is you can't go all the place. You have to pick one.
Oh, man, but there's so many
I
good
know. You're
spots.
picking your
Okay.
perfect day.
Perfect breakfast spot. See, my wife, she's going to tell me I'll go with Bittersweet Cafe up in Farmington, PA, right by Nemacolin Resort.
Okay.
You ever been there?
No.
I think it's rated like in Food Magazine as one of the best spots. So I'm going to go
All
with
right.
that.
Okay. So you're starting in Farmington.
That's way down.
Yeah,
there.
right.
You got about an hour drive.
All
from
right.
the city.
So he eats breakfast. He gets in his car, and now it's lunchtime. And what's your lunch spot? Where are you going to lunch?
Lunch. Man, this is a tough one. See, dinner's easy.
Right.
I'm already ready for
Okay,
that.
all
I'm
right.
already ready for that. But
Lunch.
lunch, it's got to be somewhere with a view, right? Something with a deck or a patio or a
Okay.
view.
I like that thought.
What's your favorite lunch spot?
This isn't
Do you
about
have one?
I like Shiloh Gastro Pub on Shiloh Street on Mount Washington.
Okay.
It has a deck.
I just did, the view wasn't the best. I just did lunch. My son came into town with his new wife, and we did lunch on Mount Washington last week at Coughlin Law.
Oh, that's a great place.
That's
too.
a nice spot, too.
I also like Grandview Saloon.
Yes.
Right on Grandview. That is like the most iconic porch in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, because when you sit out there with someone that's not from here, and that's kind of the idea, right? You're bringing somebody, you want to show them the best of the town.
Sure.
That view,
Nothing like it.
yeah, you can't beat it. But also the North Shore. The North Shore's got some
You
spots.
are very indecisive.
I know. All right, I'm going to pick one. For lunch, you know what? I'm going to be a Yenzer, and I'm going to take him to Permane Brothers and the
Okay,
Strip.
that's good. And you picked the OG one too. Safe. All right. You've ate plenty already, but now it's your activity. What are you doing? I have a funny feeling I know where you're going with this, but maybe not. What's the activity? Are you
No, this is so I just did this, right? I just had my son come into town with his new wife that hadn't been to Pittsburgh before.
okay?
And you got to take him up on Mount Washington. You
Yeah.
got to go to the Grand View and look at the city from there and go, oh, look, there's the stadiums. Oh,
Yes.
look, there's the Cathedral of Learning over there. There's the trolleys going down or the inclines. You got to do that. There's nothing more Pittsburgh than that,
Yeah,
is
that's
there?
true.
Is there?
No.
And then,
I'm surprised that you didn't say golf though.
Oh, well, I love golf.
Right.
I'm praying for birdies.
He
I get
is.
very religious on the golf course. As a matter of fact, I'm in my member guest
You
at my
need to
club.
get religious
Say
on
some
the golf
prayers
course.
for me, please. Pray for birdies for Danger.
And I'm sidetracking.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
What's your favorite golf course in Pittsburgh?
Favorite golf courses? There's a trifecta. There's a holy trinity. And
Of course there is.
I've learned
because
that.
there's no
There's
one
Oakmont.
answer.
If you get a chance to play Oakmont, that's the most famous course. One of the most famous courses in the world.
Sure.
And it's in Oakmont, obviously, Oakmont Country Club. The second one is Laurel Valley Country Club in Ligonier, which that's Arnold Palmer's place, man. Unbelievable. And I've
Yep.
had a chance to play there. Thank you to Steve Tanzilli. And then the third one, have you ever played Mystic Rock?
I have not.
It's at Nemacolin Resort.
I
That's a
try to
top
keep
100.
things,
Yeah.
relatively.
Those are the
painless.
three. That's the holy trinity, in my opinion.
Okay.
Of golf courses in Pittsburgh, but they're all great.
Yes.
I mean, where we played. We played Moon one time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I mean, Cranberry Highlands. I mean, public courses.
Yeah.
There's just so many good. What's your favorite golf course?
I really like Rolling Acres out in Beaver County.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I really like it. It's open. It's very nice. They have good carts.
Quicksilver is a good public
Yeah,
course.
it's a nice course too.
I
I just played Beaver Valley, and that was a really.
Okay. Is that one public or private?
I believe it is public.
Okay.
Yeah. I played in an outing in that one. But finishing Danger's perfect day. We're going to dinner now.
Yeah.
You went to Mount Washington and you golfed
Yep.
all three courses.
The holy trinity of private.
And now you're going to dinner. It's a late dinner, but it's
Yeah.
like an 8 o'clock dinner.
So man, this, I would go down into the city. If I had somebody,
Yes.
I would take them into the city. Because me and my wife, we love High Hold and Moon. We love Out of the Fire up at Donegal by Seven Springs. I like supporting people too. Don't you like going to local mom and pop
No
places?
doubt, yeah.
I think we're friends with the D. Simones. They got like this with the Spritzery here
Yes.
downtown.
Yep.
Or I love the Zigglers up on the Ohio Pile. I'll go to Braddock's or Stonehouse. I like supporting people. That's what this Pittsburgh is all about.
No
It's
doubt.
like the Mr. Rogers thing.
So much for him being ready for dinner.
With that said, I would probably do like Eddie Merlot's or Eddie V's downtown.
Okay.
Because you're in the city.
I love supporting people. I love Pittsburgh. And then he picks Eddie V's. No offense to Eddie V's.
What's the one on the North Shore of the steakhouse there?
Hyde Park?
Oh, yeah. Is that a locally owned?
No.
Dang it. All right. Dang it. That's good too.
Well, all right. The last one is the nightcap. I'm afraid to ask. Where are you getting your nightcap at?
Ooh. Well, I just did one last night at Nevillewood Country Club. with a
Okay,
bunch of
that's
buddies.
pretty good.
That's a nice bar. But Pittsburgh's all about like a little hole in the wall, like something that everyone doesn't know.
Yep.
We've met up at a few of those over the.
For sure.
Oh man, a nightcap. Ooh, where's my favorite one right now? Industry has a good
Oh, that's a
bar.
good one.
I like Industry. What do you like? I'm turning it on
Man,
you,
I
man.
don't like it.
I might be
this is
missing out on
what
something.
he does because he's the host and now he's in the other chair and he's like, I really don't know. I want to ask the host what he likes.
Yeah.
I love Scarpazi's. I'm a Mount Washington guy, so Scarpazi's or Bingham Tavern up there.
Oh yeah, Bingham Tavern. I like that.
Is a good spot.
Mount Washington's a lifestyle.
Oh man, I love it.
It really is. It's its own little. But that's the thing about Pittsburgh. All these different neighborhoods have their own little
feel
vibe.
to it. Yeah, I think that's what makes it kind of special, and you're able to like go into different neighborhoods for different feels of what you want. Like I love a good Redfin Blues for dinner or late night later night especially in the summer when it gets a little bit cooler out. Red Flint Blues is right on the water. It kind of makes you feel like you're not in Pittsburgh. It has a vacation tropical style, and I don't know. I like it over there too.
What's the place in the North Hills? We did a show there last year, Sarah Evans. That
Bamboo Bar?
There's
North Park Lounge?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I forgot the name of it. I really liked that one. It starts with an A. But yeah, I'm doing a terrible job here.
Yeah.
But
it'll come to you probably after this show. But it will come to you.
There's a lot of great, Pittsburgh does have a lot of really good mom and pops, and I seek them out. I love Sewickley. I go there with my pinky out and walk around.
Strictly Sewickley.
Yeah, man. There's some good restaurants there. Vivo, is it Vino or Vivo? Slippery Mermaid. You ever had some sushi over there?
Yes.
Do you like sushi?
Yes, I do.
Love sushi.
Yes.
I love sushi.
But it needs to be good. Like, I'm not going to the just random place. I need a
like the gas station sushi.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
that's a
doing
golden rule. I think
Yeah.
I stand behind you on that one, or with
Yeah.
you.
So that's Danger's perfect day. Rewind and try to figure that one out and break all that down. I'll do my
If you
best.
would have just said, "Hey,
I would love to
Danger,
see
I'm going to
a
ask you your perfect day. Write it down."
No, that's not what I want. That's what you need to be on the cuff.
I would have
here.
had like jet skiing on the Mon or
Right.
shirtless. I would have come up with something better.
If there was a graphic to describe this, if we could put that, it's just like a yard map of what
right,
would
like
be going
I
on.
didn't even do Oakmont Bakery or the the one in Beaver County. I can't think of that one. The one
Orms?
Orms. Oh,
Yeah, right.
Now we're really gonna run out of gas.
Right. But I still have to ask your favorite Pittsburgh celebrity that you interviewed, had a meetup with, because we're keeping it Pittsburgh. I know you've done a lot of country artists.
Yeah. Favorite Pittsburgh celebrity. Well, when I first got here, I got lucky. Like a girl from Memphis that knew my show from Memphis had just got hired as Mr. Rogers' press secretary. And she called me. She was like, "Wait, are you the Danger from Memphis?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You want to have Mr. Rogers on your show?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I do."
That's pretty good.
So I got Mr. Rogers on, and he was so cool. I did the straight interview because it was live. That was back when we did it live.
Sure.
And then at the very end, I go, "Mr. Rogers, is it okay to teach your kids to hate the Cleveland Browns?" And he goes, "I think they'll figure that out all on their own."
It's great. It's great. He said it without having to say it.
He did say it.
Oh my gosh.
And then
that's
was
fantastic.
so I'm going to go with that, Mr.
All right,
Rogers.
I like that. And now I'm really nervous for the last one because you've been super solid on your answers. I love this question because everybody does Pittsburgh or the Mount Rushmore. We're going to do Mount Washington. If Pittsburgh decided to carve 4 faces into the side of it, who are the 4 faces of Pittsburgh that should be on the side of Mount Washington?
I think in this town, and this is a guy that's been here a quarter of a century now.
Yep.
It's got to be sports people, right? Because this is a sports town.
Yeah.
I think the shirts at the airport said, "A drinking town with a football problem." Like, and they
Right.
weren't kidding. They sold them at the airport, Right. I think Mary Lemieux.
Okay.
He's got to be on there.
Yep.
And I would probably go with, I think maybe Terry Bradshaw.
Okay.
And then I would go the other way. I would put Sidney Crosby on there.
All right. So 2 Penguins.
2 Penguins. Yep. And the 4th one, I'd put Troy Polamalu just to have the hair.
Okay.
Just to have the hair. So
All right.
a newer and an older Steeler and a newer and an older Penguin. And I know there's been the Pirates. Man, when I moved here, I loved baseball.
Roberto Clemente is not happy with you
Clemente. But you only gave me 4 spots.
I know.
And
I know.
And then there's me. I love Mean Joe Green. I have a Mean Joe Green jersey.
And then if you could have opened it up to outside of Pittsburgh sports, and someone like a Mr. Rogers, I feel like could be considered.
Arnold Palmer. I love Arnold Palmer.
That's a great one.
And he's just, those are people that really loved their hometown too, like that really gave a lot to their town. Arnold Palmer. And then the Rooneys, I mean, the Rooneys have been a big part of what goes on here. But then people that like Mario Lemieux, he finished playing here and he lives here.
Yeah.
And he's still, I don't know, he doesn't own the Penguins anymore, right?
Right.
That's over. But he is a Pittsburgh guy.
Yes.
And I wonder if Sidney Crosby will be that way. I wonder. I think there's a chance. I know he goes back to Nova Scotia during the offseason.
It will be interesting when Sid's playing time is done if he does decide to stay in Pittsburgh.
But I've noticed like Ben Roethlisberger still lives here.
Sure.
You know, and he does a podcast and everything. And it kind of surprised me. I kind of thought he might hightail it out of town once he. Look, and I'm not saying if you're not from here,
sure.
The temptation's there, right? But the people that have stayed and stuff, I think that's cool because the city became a part of them. Like
no doubt.
And someone like Ben Roethlisberger, to a certain extent, he grew up here.
Yeah, and I mean he's not far from where he grew up in Findlay, Ohio. Not all that far away either. But yeah, it is interesting that you given the chance, given the opportunity, nothing's stopping you from staying here or from leaving, and you decide to stay.
And then those are people that end up being like ambassadors for the city. Franco Harris, I think, was kind of like that.
Yeah, I think he should be in consideration for.
I love Franco. And I got to meet him. You know, that's a guy that I actually met several times. He was on my show over the years. He had different things he was promoting. And I was at the Globetrotter game here at PPG Paints Arena right after he died. And you guys did a...
Yeah.
Well, tell me about that. You had just interviewed him, right?
Yeah, so we, my boss, Alyssa Bloomling, the VP of Marketing here at PPG Paints Arena, has a great relationship with Franco and his wife, Dana, as do I, from Franco's affiliation with the Pittsburgh Passion, who I've been affiliated with a long time. And we had an opening where we were trying to promote the 50th anniversary of the Globetrotters being in Pittsburgh playing the day after Christmas, and also had teamed up with the same as the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. So we were like, this is a perfect combining of the two. So we had one of my dear friends, and ironically, the first guest ever on a Party on Fifth Avenue podcast, the very first episode was Shane Scooter Christensen of the Globetrotters. We had him a couple of years later as the ambassador for the Trotters to promote the game. And we have Franco meet us at the Heinz History Center. And of course, at that time, the Heinz History Center was all set up with Franco's artifacts from his high school days, his college days, of course, the cleats from the Immaculate Reception, all of this great memorabilia from Franco's entire career. And we go in there, and Danger, I would be honest with you, like it was one of those days, and I'm sure you've had so many of these, where you're in the moment and you're like, I'm never going to forget today, because Franco was there and he was just going through each piece of memorabilia and telling a story about it, and telling stories that you would just never have heard, or just hearing it from him in that setting, which was such an intimate setting. There was only a handful of us there, and then I know Shane and Franco had a really good just conversation, just talking about being athletes, and they were actually ended up being from out in the same area, and they had a great conversation. It was just a really cool day. And then a few days later, Franco passed, and we had this video. And so the Globetrotters decided they were making Franco an honorary Globetrotter, and presented Dana and Franco's son, Doc Harris, a jersey, and we played that video prior to it. It was, for me, it was with all my worlds colliding between Globetrotters and knowing Franco. It was just probably, if you put my 4 years here, top moment, that probably is my favorite moment that I have.
Well, it was a magic moment because I'll just say, I'm in the crowd, right, with my family, and it says, beloved Pittsburgh Steeler Franco Harris passed away a couple days ago. Before he did, we had taped this segment to air at this event, and we're going to go ahead and play it for you. And then it was just beautiful. Like he was he was talking about his love for Pittsburgh, and man, I'm going to tell you, there were people crying all over. It was just a shot through a Yinzer's heart right there. Man. Yeah, it was a beautiful thing, though. Everybody applauded at the end too.
Yeah, and the beginning of it was just scooter saying, hey, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Globetrotters, 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. And Franco slides in. He does like the slide into form, and people's eyes like, whoa, like this was shot prior to him passing.
Yeah.
It was a very cool thing.
Yeah, that was cool. This arena, I mean, we've had a lot of good moments here. Really good, cool stuff happens here all the time. I love your country lineup. I love that country music is still, you know, when I moved here, I didn't expect Pittsburgh to like country music.
Really?
I was like, it's in the north. You know, my mom told me, you're going up there with a bunch of Yankees. And there's not one Yankee in Pittsburgh, by the way. I was like, they're in New York, Mom. That's where the Yankees are. But
Just Yinzers.
yeah,
She wasn't far off.
People in Pittsburgh, whether they live in, you know, Regent Square or the South Side, or, you know, they like the country lifestyle. Sure. They go away to their camp or their cabin, and that's what country music. That's that. You know, it's a lifestyle.
Of these shows that are coming up here to PPG Paints Arena, Zach Brown Band, August 13th. Zach Top, August 20th. Casey Musgraves on September 9th or September 8th. And Dan and Shay on October 9th. Which one are you most looking forward to?
I mean, those are all good. Probably my favorite of the four is Zach Brown, but I love Dan and Shay. They're so good.
Yeah. And
I've seen Casey a bunch. She's one of those people doing her own thing. You know, she's not trying to. She plays her music, and people love that about her. My sister's like a big music snob. I'm like, you're a music snob. Like Casey Musgraves, that. She's for people that are like, you know, they're like, I like the finer things in music. She's a real artist, and I love that about her. And then Zach Top. Those are all four really good, and they're very different, too.
Yes.
They're very different. So I would say Zach Brown, number one. Dan and Shay, 2. Zach Top. How about I just come to all four of them?
I like that.
I'll be
and you should too. Of course, get your tickets at ppgpaintsarena.com. And Danger, thanks so much for hanging out with us on the Party on Fifth Avenue podcast. Of course, you can catch the Danger Show podcast with Jeremy Danger Mulder on all of your favorite social media channels.
And I know I'm a real estate agent for Realty Connect here in Pittsburgh. I'm looking at his notes now. And and I wanted to mention, I did the announcing for Sewickley Academy girls basketball this year.
You did.
You did the boys. They won the state championship.
Yes.
Congratulations on that. And the
I
girls,
didn't have anything to do with it. I just announced what happened.
You just announced them. I feel like you played a part in it. And then the girls, Sewickley Academy girls, made it to state with their coach, Rob Shazer, who's my buddy. And that's a rising program over there. We'll talk sports, I guess, on another one.
We need to. And there's a lot to talk about, of course.
Because you're a Whip Hill guy.
Oh, I love
the insider over here.
We love the WPIAL, but
and you got high school basketball here at the stadium. We didn't even talk about that.
Yes, Holiday Hoops.
Yeah, you made that happen.
We did.
It was a great idea.
Thank you.
What a dream for any kid on any Whip Hill school around here to get to play basketball at PPG.
It was hard to imagine that the building had been around this long and hadn't had high school basketball in it, and I'm really glad that it's become a tradition. And thanks to Edgar Snyder for being the title sponsor of the Holiday Hoops Classic last year, and hopefully we have another one.
And my daughter plays at Lincoln Park, so if you can make that happen, that'd be good.
So Sewickley Academy versus Lincoln Park, maybe girls.
Yes. All right. Yes. Man, I didn't know it was that easy.
Yeah, right.
I'd have brought that up in the first segment.
But you do it all. You're announcing Sewickley Academy. You're a real estate agent, of course. If you're looking for a house in the Pittsburgh area,
10 years with the Prontos over there. Good people.
They are great people and have a nice music history of their own.
Oh yeah. The guy that owns my real estate brokerage, his dad used to own Big Machine Records and had a lady named Taylor Swift on the label.
Yeah.
So it all comes together. It's all back to country music right here, man.
It really is. And it's always a party with you, brother. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on.
Jeremy Danger Mulder, everybody, here on this edition of the Party on Fifth Avenue podcast. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to all things PPG Paints Arena. Keep it locked to our social channels and, of course, ppgpaintsarena.com for all the latest and greatest on when the party is coming that you want to come to. Until next time, I'm Matt Fargo. Thanks so much for watching this edition of the Party on Fifth Avenue podcast presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. We'll see you next time where there's always a party on Fifth Avenue.